And we're live. So, I just thought I would do a brief video about Black Widow, which I went to see last night. I thoroughly enjoyed it. As somebody who doesn't really know anything about movies, I don't know anything about movies either, but about the backstory of the comics and all of the Marvel movies, and so on and so forth. Let's see, even got a cup, so you know this review is legit. I just wanted the icy, and I thought it was cool. So, and going in, I didn't know about some changes they made. So there was one particular change. Come to find out after the fact, yeah, it did. But whatever. I digress. Overall, I enjoyed it. I would see it again. It's a movie I would buy. As far as compared to other movies, I don't really want to do too much of that because I don't want to ruin anybody else's experience of it. The one main thing, and without getting into spoilers, that and my personal opinion of it, I guess I would give it. I want to give it 4 stars out of 5, but it's probably more like 3.5. And I would say a 7 or 8 out of 10. Overall, I thought a lot of the CGI was good, but it was overdone in parts. A lot of people thought it was bad CGI, so potato there. And I'm not really going to get into too many specifics. Just want to touch on generalities because it just came out, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody who may see it. I know there's plenty of people out there talking about how woke the MCU is, and I know they are very much woke. So I'm not, and again, I'm not going to comment on some different things they did with the movie. I don't want to have any spoilers, but the one thing I will say about the movie is the direction, the camera angles in certain scenes. Where you think, okay, this is about to happen, and then it just cuts to another scene, or it shows a scene, and you have all this action. And there was this one particular scene where there's all this action, and there's just one person just standing there for a few seconds. So there was a couple of things like that I thought, it would have benefited. I gotta say it in a nice way, from a competent director. And that has nothing to do with whether it was a man, a woman, whatever, just somebody who had some more experience. I think maybe the director was over their head. So direction or it could have also been, in fairness to the director though, it could have been in the editing, because there was definitely some errors with the editing as well. And then perhaps this is a way for them to milk the 4K or whatever when that comes out. So, ooh, now we have our super duper cut. There's an after credit scene. I'll just say that and leave it at that for people who, I know there was a lot of people. When I was there, I think it's a theater that holds, I don't know, however many people, close. I forget the number of people in that particular theater, but it was a good-sized theater with a pretty big screen and Dolby Atmos and all that. And there was it wasn't full, because I had to go see the 940 show, because the earlier shows I was doing stuff and the seating wasn't that great, so I just went to see the late show last night. But there was a number of people that just left as soon as the credits started. But do sit through the credits. If you want to see the after credit scene, you really got to go to the bathroom. Run to the bathroom as soon as the credits start, and then you'll have time to come back and catch the after credit scene, because the credits are, as any typical movie with these many effects. Also, there's nothing wrong with my eyes or my face. I'm just getting used to looking at the camera, and I'm using the laptop camera as opposed to I used to use a DSLR camera, but I digress. But yeah, stay for the after the credit scene. I thought it was rather interesting, in my opinion. But we all know what opinions are like, as the saying goes. That's just so in my opinion. Um, and yeah, if you got to go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom, come right back, and you'll still see the after credit scene. But there is an after credit scene. Um, but the movie didn't. It was, I don't know, 2.5 hours or whatever, and it was. It wasn't one of those movies like certain movies like The Dark Knight, which is one of my favorite movies I've ever seen. But it feels like it's 2.5 hours. This one didn't feel like that. It felt like everything flowed well, everything moved along. Even with it was debated or pointed out by a lot of people, plot holes. So even with the alleged plot holes, I say alleged because I don't want to give any spoilers, and I'm not a scholar on the comic. I'm not a scholar on even the movies. This is just my opinion as somebody wanting to see a movie, having not been into the theater in a very long time, obviously because of COVID, as well as things started to go back. And you have to keep in mind we're probably about to enter a period of 2 to 3 years, I would estimate, where there's going to be a lot of movies that are going to be horrible because of they're going to start injecting more and more and more wokeness, and which is fine if it's part of the story, if it's organic, if it works, if it maybe improves the story, maybe makes it more entertaining. But when you inject it just for the sake of injecting it, so that's all I'll say about that. I won't comment on, again, spoilers, but yeah, there was a certain, maybe slightly something I learned afterwards because I, again, totally ignorant on the lore. It was just me going in, seeing a movie, and I just wanted to share some of my thoughts. I had a decent seat. I try to sit as close as I can to the theater. Well, being close to the theater helps. Close as I can in the theater, rather, to the screen, so that I'm surrounded by the speakers and everything, and anybody that may be talking or playing on their cell phones is just drowned out by all the noise. So I don't know. I don't know when I'm going to see another movie. I haven't seen a lot of movies for a while. I just thought that with a lot of negative things coming out about this movie, not saying that it doesn't deserve it, and there's a lot I need to watch and hear and understand why people are saying those things. And but I just wanted to share some of my thoughts, or my ramblings rather, about the movie. Overall, I liked it. I would see it again. I would buy it on 4K. And I'm not a high roller by any means. I happen to have a Xbox One that plays the 4Ks, and I have a very, very modest 4K TV. So it's not like when I say I'm going to get the 4Ks, and I'm going to watch on my 80-inch 8K TV, and I'm scaled. No. But previously I brought Blu-rays, so now as I buy movies in the future, which more and more things are digital anyways, and usually on a streaming service, but when I do buy movies, I try to now get the 4Ks. So, and so I got this cool little cup. It has what's her name? Florence Pugh, or last name's Pugh. Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, Marvel, blah blah blah. It's got the little Black Widow on the top. They had her. They had her sister's character, the big Russian guy, and oh my God, what's her name? The other lady on the. Anyway, she's pretty much everybody has been in, except for Pugh is maybe not as well known, but she really made the movie for me, in my opinion. Had she not been in it, and that's a big part of what made it work, as well as everything else coming together. So I was saying before, 3.5 out of 4, 7, 8 out of 10. Yeah, I would have to say 3.5 out of 5. And oof, but then you can pick. Oh man, there's so many other movies that. But it's been so long since I've seen a movie, so. Oh my gosh, this is. I would say 7.5 out of 10. I want to give it an 8, but there's a couple. Again, some of the direction, and maybe that was what I thought was direction might have been CGI. Maybe that's what I was actually looking at. Could have been much better. And I guess that's pretty much it. So, it starts out and there's some parts that are kind of like, just a little hard to follow. But just to go out and see a movie and not know anything about it, yeah, I would say it's worth it. There was a number of families that were there. There were a number of people. Everybody was there as far as cross section of people. It wasn't a huge crowd, but it was a 9:40 show, so I don't know what remember when I went to see, what was it, The Rise of Skywalker, and I think it was the 9 something or 10 something show of that, because everything else was sold out, and that was packed even without getting into that debacle. But that was also pre-COVID, so I don't know, but it was nice to be in a theater and just to have that experience again. So I liked it. I would see it again. I would recommend it, but I know I'm probably going to get some KYS and other comments below, and that's fine. I don't really care. But that's just my thoughts or my ramblings on it, and so there you go.